Hi there.
We
This
are
is
live.
this is Telepathic Bunny Comics. Telepathic Bunny, T Bunny, if you're nasty. Um, and we are trying to get a live stream together here. We're a little bit late. We got the link is in the chat. The DM is we're waiting for people to like. Oh, wait a second. They said 6 o'clock. Here's the guest. This is Stormin' Norman Leinert from Las Vegas. How you doing, Norm?
Hi, Norm. Nice to meet you.
Uh-oh. We're having audio issues again. We did this the other day. He had the same issue. Oh well. Well, man. Is it on your end or mine? Oh, I guess it was on his end. He's gonna fix it. He'll be back. We almost had somebody. Oh, almost. Jeez,
Wow, we're kind of boomering our way through this, aren't we?
Hey, this is typical for us, man. We're still learning our way, you know. And I told everybody 6 o'clock. I've been telling everybody 6 o'clock all day long. 6 o'clock Eastern. I even put the other times there, and then they're going like, "I didn't know it was."
Yep, I reiterated it for you.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you very much. Well, I mean, I kind of did a lot of things last minute. I was trying to get this like opening thing ready, and I never could get the music to sync up. You know how it is, technical issues. You're so close, and you just like, if I can just get this, and I'll have it ready. But I should have done it earlier in the week, but I work third, so earlier in the week I was trying to catch some Z's or whatever. Honestly, I don't know where these guys are here. I don't think Norm's coming back. I think he's backing out on us here, but
that's possible.
He was a little worried about that. So, well, AP said he'd be in here, and Aaron was supposed to get off work and come in here. Well, okay, AP setting up his camera. Okay, all right. So, we'll at least have AP, I guess.
Wow, we could do it just you and I.
Oh, yeah, that's possible.
It's no problem. I got plenty to talk about. You know me, I got slides.
Oh, I know. You got it all ready to go, man. All I have to do is just share a screen, and you're in it. But yeah, I've got a couple myself. A couple I think are really good. But I might get some. There's the man.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, AP, what's up, man?
Finishing dinner, setting up his camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I got home about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, right.
Really? I'm a little surprised, Aaron. I got 6 o'clock because Aaron was going to be available, and I hadn't heard from him since. So, oh well, it's what it is.
Yeah.
We're just trying. We're trying. What's that?
I said we'll be fine. We can soldier on.
I hear you. I thought Norm was going to join us, but he had technical issues and noped out pretty quick.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, we did a test live stream the other day, and he kind of had the same issue, but then he figured it out. So I'm like, maybe he'll figure it out again. I don't know, but he's got the link. So is everybody else that is not here presently. So, oh well.
Friday the 13th, after all.
I know, man. Tryptodictophobia is real,
What if you have tryptodictophilia?
There you go. I'm just happy that I even know the word, okay? I worked on it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess we can start the discussion. I mean,
so there was talk of anti-hero. There was talk of perhaps Kevin Smith as well as Robin for topics.
Oh boy.
Were we going to skip the
I was kind of like joking about that because that's what everybody else does, you know. And I think that's, I mean, that's road that's kind of been traveled on, you know. I mean, Kevin Smith is what Kevin Smith is at this point.
So I'd like to throw in 2 cents where Kevin Smith is concerned. Robin, I can't think of much to add really, except for that it's obvious.
Right.
During marketing, like it's just boring, you know. But
yeah.
So I really enjoyed Mallrats growing up. That's part of my childhood or my teenagedom, I guess.
Right.
And Chasing Amy, like the guy's not irredeemable as a storyteller completely up until about 20. I couldn't even give you the year. But I saw the Walrus movie, and I felt violated artistically. Like this was shit. I felt angry. Like
well, that was Stephen King's son Joe Hill wrote that.
Oh.
And there is the man, Aaron. Aaron Jordan. Yeah. If you move it to 6 o'clock, he will come. There we go.
Next week.
Yeah, true. Yeah, well, the Kevin Smith thing is, you know, it's like he had this roly-poly kind of, you know, nerd thing going on, and then he had his heart attack. Then he had his come to Satan moment. It wouldn't come to Jesus because everything went downhill after that. And next thing you know, he looks like a human Pez dispenser, swears he's vegan now, and he's crying at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
And that stuff messes with your hormones and everything. I mean, I'd like to lose weight like that. I'm not going to lie, but
no, that's not the right plan to go on.
No,
the heart attack plan's not the right way.
Yeah. Oh man, he was talking about you know, he was doing that interview where he just completely threw the fans under the bus, and right before that, he was like, you know, I fasted for a whole entire week, man, and then I ate this bar, and it was like the best thing I ever tasted, and it's like, that's not right. That sounds like anorexia or nervosa there, you know. I think you've gone too far, but yeah, it's like what's that phrase? You either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah.
All right, I'm more than halfway then.
Well, there you go. Well, I've been accused of being villainous before, so you know, I don't know where they get that from. I have no idea, you know. But I swear you get one widow's peak and they all think you're Dracula or something. Well, anyway, yeah, and plus the fact he lied to everybody. I think that's what really irritated. That's what, you know, ticked me off the most, because Clownfish TV, they had it right. They got their source. They had it lined up, and they said, well, this is what their source is saying. We're not saying this is true, but this is what the source is saying. I mean, they weren't pulling a doomcock and saying, no, this is the truth. This is the power from Olympus, you know, or whatever. No, they were saying this. We hope this isn't right, but this. And then he goes, that little moron comes out. It's like, well, I wrote it, so I don't know where they're getting this from. That's exact words he said. And then, boom, everything that they said was true. Everything. And then the dick comes out. It's like, I don't know why everybody's upset. You know, what do you think, Kevin? Gee, pop quiz, hot shot. You know.
Yeah. The best thing he could have done was just shut his mouth.
Exactly. That's the best thing. A lot of
celebrities seem to miss that point.
I know.
Yeah.
What really got him in trouble, though, was not throwing fans under the bus. Was when he told people at Facebook they don't care about those fans. They got plenty of subscribers. They don't care. And he said that on live stream, and I'm like, that other stuff throwing us under the bus, they won't bother with that, but that will get you in trouble. Suddenly, he just disappears off social media entirely, gone, like he evaporated. So
he seems like the kind of guy that a CEO would be easy to handle. You know, like you just make one. You don't even call him. You just text him like, Kevin, no social media for 3 weeks. He's like, yes, sir. You know, probably cries a lot.
Well, he's a shill anyway. So I mean, they give him marching orders all the time.
Did you see the interview that he gave after the show came out?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he looked like he hadn't eaten in a week, and he's like, I hadn't eaten in a week, and I ate this bar, and it was the best thing ever. You know, it's like, dude,
What
man.
happened? I'm late.
And at what age is turning the hat around just pitiful? I mean, turn the dang ball cap back around, dude.
2005.
There you go. At some point, it's like, man, just turn the ball cap back around. That age has passed for you, you know. At some point, you know. I mean, Pee Wee Herman put away the platform shoes at the certain point, you know. I mean, it gets a little sad. Anyway, I guess we'll start in on this here. Unless you got another topic you want to discuss, AP.
No, I think we've done Kevin Smith.
Okay, we've thrown the dirt on the corpse. All right, all right. I guess we'll just start kind of. We'll start with Mr. Dojo. He says he has some slides for us, so let me share your screen here, bud, and see what you got. Yeah, Juggernaut.
So yeah, we're talking anti-heroes here, and I know I'm going to catch some flack because for first 30 years of his history, he was considered to be a villain.
Right.
But, in the 90s, he was included in Malibu Comics' The New Exiles.
Uh-huh.
And then he played a more of a sort of like a reluctant hero role, and he was later part of New Excalibur with Dazzler, Captain Britain, Megan, and Nightcrawler over in England.
Oh,
and
wow.
He's recently been and maybe still is, part of the Savage Avengers with Conan, Wolverine, etc. Elektra, I think, is part of it. So, yeah, he's playing both sides of the fence. I think that you also asked about a heroic moment.
Yeah.
So despite the fact that he's invulnerable to physical harm,
right,
his fearlessness can sometimes be misplaced because he still can be hurt with psionics, as Phoenix proved before.
But doesn't his helmet prevent that?
Well, to a certain extent.
Okay.
There was a character named Psylocke, or there still is, who was able to affect him through the helmet. So, in fact, I remember him saying, you know, this helmet's supposed to stop that, but he was knocked out.
Well, she probably used that psychic knife, though. That's kind of cheating on her part.
And he can also be affected by supernatural, like Doctor Strange.
Oh,
so
right.
You know, so sometimes when he marches in there fearlessly, he's being a little thoughtless. So with that in mind, you know, how heroic is it? Well, it's hard to say, but it seems like he's turned things around a bit. And maybe he was misunderstood stepbrother of Xavier years ago.
Yeah, right.
It's hard, though, to picture him as a hero because he did so much destruction and attempted murder in the past. But to answer your third question,
yeah,
I think he's a flawed person who does good things now and then. He's got his own agenda. He's often selfish.
Yeah.
Probably isn't evil.
Right.
Like he probably isn't doing all these things for the sake of being evil. Right. But through the years, he's changed, and not, you know, they didn't gender or race swap him, but, you know, they've changed him through the years from being the guy that, you know, did things like this to the X-Men.
Well, I always thought that he was meant to be the opposite of Xavier, you know.
Right, where Xavier is real smart and immobile, whereas this guy is dumb and unstoppable. He can always move. So you're right. The whole theme there was the exact opposite, both mentally and physically.
But not Vinnie Jones. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Not Vinnie Jones from X-Men 3. Yeah, I'm the Juggernaut bitch. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know that was the actor's name.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I think he was more accurate in the I think it was the second Deadpool movie he was in.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was a great rendition.
Yeah. I think that was more close to what Juggernaut is. But so he has his own series. At least he did as of a year ago or something. Well,
it was very short-lived.
Yeah.
He had several one-shots that were just simply named Juggernaut.
Okay.
They were okay. I think that, you know, depending on the writer, He can be anything from just an oaf to just a misunderstood muscle man. So he's one of my favorite characters when he's handled correctly.
Right.
And you know, correctly, of course, is subjective. It depends on also who's reading it. You and I might both have different opinions as to what's correct for this character, but I really like this character a lot, and I think he's an anti-hero.
Right. I agree with you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, does anybody else have any debate with that? Does anybody?
I'd like to add a little layer. It goes. So one of my first comic books was the X-Men issue where the X-Men are depleted and Juggernaut attacks London, and it's Rogue and Psylocke and Longshot and Dazzler. It's like a fight between Dazzler and Juggernaut first. And she tries to knock him out and passes out.
Well,
so
yeah, just speaking specifically of Dazzler, she's got it's like her powers are so ill-defined. I mean, you just don't know. Depends on who writes her. Either she's really overpowered or she's just a light bulb. You know, there's nowhere in between. She's either, you know, shooting lasers or she's a light bulb, and that's it. You know. But yeah, Juggernaut. So nobody's disputing that one.
So
what's that?
In the fight between the 4 X-Men and Juggernaut, he had a few points where he could lay into somebody, but he just keep on moving on. Like, I finished with you. I don't want to he never wanted to kill anybody. He's just like, stop bothering me. You're annoying.
Okay.
He's not exactly a villainous, evil guy. He kind of knows he's a thug.
Right.
And expects to be taken more seriously than perhaps his maturity would warrant, you know?
Well, I've always thought he was really insecure, and then he gets the Crimson Gem of Sidorak, and then he becomes this. And that insecurity kind of played out. He was basically Scott Forkus from the, Christmas Story. You know.
Yeah. I can almost see him be like O'Doyle from O'Doyle Rules.
Right. Let's see. Let me add Aaron back. You back, man?
Yeah, I switched to the monitor.
Oh, okay. We were hearing this crack, and I was like, "What's going on there, man?" But okay, so that's Dojo's. Dojo's first entry is Juggernaut. I guess we'll go clockwise. What's yours, AP?
I really like Gambit only as an anti-hero. He changed a lot. I think he changed for me when Magneto came back as Joseph, whatever the hell was going on with that, and Onslaught, and they had the romantic thing turn into a three-way romantic. It seemed too much like an episode of Friends, and Gambit just took the back seat to all of it and looked like Ross instead of Gambit. But when he first showed up, he was trying to Mac Storm.
It was Storm, yeah.
He was trying to replace Wolverine as the tough guy.
Right.
He was trying to steal a kiss from Rogue. He tried to steal a kiss from Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Cyclops wanted to drop things on him. He was a really, really well written.
You mean Colossus?
No, yeah.
Yeah, Colossus, yeah.
Drop a Colossus on him.
Yeah.
He was so much more interesting and compelling as the guy that rubbed feathers at the X-Men and didn't fit in completely. He might have had one or two people he got along with, but
early on, you thought he was going to sell them out at any minute.
Yeah. Actually, it was right up until the Onslaught story, because there was a whole thing with Bishop about how he talked to the last remaining X-Man, and it sort of suggested it was Gambit who had lived all the rest. But how does the one thief, the criminal of the group, manage to pull that off?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was such an interesting character, and you can't really having a romantic interest means you have to go somewhere with it at some point. So he always had to become the boyfriend character instead of the,
Well, I think his relationship with Rogue he still kept that little bit of an edge, because, Rogue has always had that edge,
So AP, I wanted to ask you, while you bring up Gambit, did you see the somewhat recent short film starring Gambit and Magic and who else was in it? There was.
I haven't heard of this. No.
Oh my gosh! If I can find it, I'll have to send it to you if you're a Gambit fan, because it was very, very well done. And Eric Roberts is even in it, the actor.
Cool.
So for being a short film, it must have been pretty high budget.
Yeah. Wow.
And the special effects are amazing too. If I can find it, I'll make sure you get to see it.
Thank you. Yeah, the last thing I think of seeing Gambit on screen was Wolverine Origins.
Ah, yeah, Taylor
Yeah.
Kish.
That's a pretty good role for him.
That's back when they were trying to make Taylor Kish happen. Yeah.
Yeah. That was rough. That was rough.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't happening. Anyway, well, I will give you a little bit of pushback there. Because the one of the criterion is you have to. Is there a WTF moment where you're like, this is the good guy? What?
Yeah.
Do you have that one? Do you have that?
Yeah, the first 2 years.
So the whole entire first 2 years,
when Nanny was chasing him and he and Storm, he was helping Storm out, but she was always telling him not to rob the guy extra when he's helping them out.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was like robbing people then. Oh,
openly.
Okay.
Yeah, he was sort of like Robin Hood, but more of the robbing and less of the hood. He's just. Yeah, he was always trying to mack her. He wasn't a good guy, and you never got the suggestion that he might have been. But yeah,
right.
Yeah, Extinction Agenda. He was still kind of sketchy, but he was fitting in. It almost evaporated immediately.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that if we're going full anti-hero, what's his name? The guy who does the illusions, Phantom X.
Okay.
Probably a really good anti-hero.
Oh, okay.
Probably better than Gambit anyway, but.
Yeah, Phantom X might have been your better move there.
So while you guys were talking about that, I already found the short film and put it in the private chat for you.
Oh, cool, thanks.
It's amazing. I don't think you want to take the time to show it, Telepathic Bunny, because it's maybe 10 or 15 minutes long, but wow, is it good.
So it's like Bad Laundry then. Or Laundry Day or whatever for Punisher then.
I'm going to watch that for sure. Right after this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite short film, I have to say. That's the Punisher. That's perfect Punisher right there. That whole world weariness. Huh? What's that?
Oh, sorry. I forget that the mics overlap. I'm pretty fresh. I just said thanks, Dojo.
Oh, sure. You're welcome.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
No problem. No problem. I don't want to miss anybody's comment or anything. I guess we're moving over to Aaron. What's your anti-hero, man?
Okay, first off, I would like to say it's funny. We all chose X-Men characters.
Oh, right.
So,
well,
I'm actually
maybe not me. Maybe not me.
Probably not. Well, I'm actually gonna go with someone that you guys might think is a little strange. I'm gonna go with Cyclops.
Ooh, he had a good run. Yes,
he had a good run. So with Cyclops, he's been a hero for the longest time, and he's always been like the most loyal out of Xavier's troops.
Well, one second. Dojo, can you drop that link in the chat there, brother? So they can see it too. They want to see it.
Okay, I'll have to open YouTube and get to the chat. Right now, I'm only in StreamYard. No problem. I'll do that.
Get it.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, you'll get it. Thanks, AP.
Sorry, Aaron.
No, you're good.
You went to Colossus? Is that what?
No, Cyclops.
Cyclops. Oh, especially the last few years. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he went from pure blue Boy Scout to very sketchy in the last few years. Yeah.
Dude, tell me about it. And honestly, I think the change worked a little bit for the better.
Oh, okay.
He in the beginning, he was kind of like this Boy Scout character.
Yeah. Didn't have a lot of nuance.
Yeah, exactly. He really believed in Xavier's goal, but over the time, he realized that you're not really gonna get anywhere with peace, and
right.
That's when he starts to turn. I was like, this is actually pretty interesting because he's going more on the lines of Magneto.
Yeah.
And as he's gonna do whatever it takes to make sure his people are good.
Oh, right.
There was a time though where his leadership wasn't just on a Boy Scout level. It really commanded a lot of respect. After the encounter with Proteus, he was worried about Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Storm because they had all been messed with mentally. And he literally picked a fight with Wolverine, got Nightcrawler involved by throwing Wolverine at him, and then challenging Storm as well. So here's Cyclops on his own fighting Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Storm. And when they realized what he was doing, their level of respect for him raised dramatically. Now, this is when Chris Claremont was writing it. So,
Nice.
I mean, Claremont is one of the ones that I emulate as best I can when I'm writing. So, you know, I got to give it to Claremont for being so good at characterization and interaction with team members. However, like you said, in recent years, yeah, his change has been dramatic. And I think that one of the reasons I agree with you, Aaron, is that after the whole time where he was a respected leader, there was a good maybe 20 years perhaps where he was just a dick. And they even made a joke about it in the movie where they were trying to find out if it was the real Wolverine. He said, yeah, you're a dick. He goes, okay, that's the real Wolverine, you know.
Well, the middle claw popped out too.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, you know, that shows that they even recognized that his character, as far as being a leader, had gone downhill. So this change might be a redeeming change.
Well,
I do agree.
My favorite run of X-Force was when he turned them into a Black Ops squad about 10 years ago. Brandon Choi did some of the art on that, and where he basically had a Black Ops squad. I mean, they did the dirty work, you know, and he was no longer ready. He was no longer doing half measures. He was like eliminating people, you know, and the purifiers popped up and all that. And it's a great comic run, a great run. But Wolverine kept questioning him and was like, you are aware when other people find out that we exist and that we're doing this stuff that you're going to lose your reputation. And Cyclops is like, I don't care, you know. And that kind of culminated with the Avengers versus X-Men arc, you know, where he killed off Xavier or whatever. Temporarily, because Xavier never really dies, as you know.
Yeah, to be honest, I never really agreed with that. Like, I don't think that he would just kill his mentor like that.
Yeah, I think the whole that's after the writing really got bad. It started getting really, really bad. That's about the time of Hell Hydra, which is where.
Oh,
I don't want to be reminded of that.
Yeah, I don't either.
So there was also the schism.
Yeah.
That was another great sort of slow build for Cyclops to turn. And it wasn't that he was, at this point, they were both, I think, making super strong cases. You couldn't say that either one was being selfish or either. Like, they both had strong tactical points.
Hence anti-hero.
yeah, but exactly. The seeds were kind of around that story time. And then they kind of blossomed, the X-Force thing, certainly. And then by the time A versus X came about.
Right. So what's your WTF moment, Aaron?
Oh, I was actually gonna mention Schism when he was like, "Yo, we're gonna get all these kids to fight all these Sentinels, even though like, half of us could die."
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And there's plenty of hero moments. So in your opinion, the third question is was Scott a good guy that did really bad things occasionally, or a really flawed man who did good things occasionally?
Well, in the beginning, I was looking back at it as like a prior history. Yeah, I was gonna go with the former, but I think it's a little bit of both because he was, as you said, he was a dick. He cheated on Jean Grey, all that other stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
like every 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like Jean was involved in a lot of scandals, man.
Well, the thing that really got me, and this is Claremont that did this, was when the whole Madeline thing, when he just up and left Madeline,
the Goblin Queen. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she became the Goblin Queen afterwards, but but she was pretty much an innocent. I mean, she was a plant by Mr. Sinister, but still, I mean, that was.
Did he have a reason to leave her?
You just saw Jean Grey on a movie, like he was watching the news or something like that. And she shows up on the screen. He's like,
Jean's back.
Oh, no.
See ya.
No.
Yeah, and she had a kid too.
She also had his kid. That's right.
What a
Nathan
dick.
Summers. She had Nathan Summers at that time.
Yeah. Although,
And
just to Mac Daddy to the whole thing, her next boyfriend was Alex Summers, Havoc.
right.
What?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she hooked up with Alex after that, I think. But yeah, that whole thing around Madeline. I mean, I was going to do a character autopsy, and that just got so complicated. I'm like, I don't. So this will take a while if I do this one. Okay, so that's a real good one.
So how did he hide his infidelity from someone like Jean Grey?
You know, that's. I don't think he did. I mean.
So she kept patching him with Psylocke, and she could do some sneaky stuff. And then he tried with the White Queen. So maybe he figured he knows Jean Grey. He needs to Mac Daddy a psychic to counter a psychic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's in the chat over here. This Pop says that he thinks Elektra is a good anti-hero.
Oh, definitely.
I wouldn't disagree with that one. I, as a matter of fact, I've never really found her heroic. I would say that she errs on the side of villainous more than she does. But I guess she has done some heroic things. But
she's done some things that ended up being for the good. But she's an assassin, for crying out loud. So she's not going to be a hero. I agree with them. I considered Elektra for a few minutes, but I just didn't have the answer to the second question. Like, when was there a heroic moment that made me think that she would qualify?
I would think Elektra would be one of those that might be debated pretty solidly, because she's really mercenary. The Devil of Hell's Kitchen now. That's right. They made her into.
She's Daredevil now. Well, they got to gender swap everybody, right?
They do. They do. Oh my God. But I mean, the whole thing around Bullseye. I mean, even when Bullseye killed her, I couldn't really be mad at Bullseye because she was trying to kill the hell out of him too, and he just won. He was just better killer than she was, and so I think Elektra might be a little debatable. As is a nice little transition. The one that I was told Red Shift would offer if he was here. Let me see if I can share this one here. And this would be window, brief tab. This would be this one. All right. Nope, that's the wrong one. That one.
Russia.
Yeah. Best ever.
Yeah, Red Shift wanted. That's the one he wanted. Are we back, Normie?
It is clear to me that communists are involved.
Oh yes, that's why I invited Norm.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, let me find the right screen here. Let me find the right screen. Share screen. Find the right tab. I should have. All right. I think this is it right here. Nope, wrong one.
Oh, another great one.
Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's actually my selection.
Good choice.
Yeah. I'll discuss him in a minute. I think I got it this time. All right. Let me stop screen. Share.
I have to interrupt.
Screen.
Sorry, I don't know how to. I linked it to the wrong place. The Gambit video. So someone else has to do that.
Oh, that's
I got it.
That's another one.
Thank you.
All right. I give up.
Classic.
Yeah, that's a good one too. All right. I should have got my tabs better. But the one that Red Shift wanted to bring up was Negan.
Ooh.
Negan. That's the one he wanted to bring up.
Is that the character from Walking Dead?
That's the one from Walking Dead. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Lucille, the bat with the barbed wire. So.
Gotcha. I've neither read nor watched anything about Walking Dead, so I'm definitely not an expert in that area.
Right. Well, one would debate that Negan was an anti-hero because he bashed in like there was this one character that everyone that was beloved by everybody. He was like a sweetheart, and he had this real sweet love story, and Negan winds up bashing his brains in, and so that's a little debatable for people to think. He said that he thought Negan was an anti-hero because he was a hero to his people, and that he protected his people, even though he was a ruthless jackass who killed people brutally. So I told him I'd bring it up, but I was like, I don't know if that one's going to fly with people. Does anybody agree with him? Is Negan an anti-hero, or is he just flat out villain?
Well, I've seen like this one scene from Walking Dead that makes me kind of agree with him. There's this one scene like they managed to lock him up, and when they saw him, he was in the prison and he was begging to be killed. Like he felt so much remorse for what he did, and he just wanted to be there with his wife.
Oh, so, okay. All right. So, well, okay.
Other than that, yeah, he's a total prick.
Other than that one moment. Okay. All right. That wasn't exactly heroism. That was just remorse. So okay. Sorry, Redshift, but I think it's pretty solid disagreement that Negan is an anti-hero. We think he's just straight out villain. So that's what happens when you beat in one of the protagonist's brains, with a baseball bat. Anyway. Okay. Well, since I already showed Moon Knight, did
you see RJ's comment before you go to Moon Knight?
No, I didn't.
Other than that, how did you enjoy the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Oh God.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Pops. Mine's gonna be Moon Knight, and there would be a debate that if he's a straight up hero, but anybody that's read the comics knows that Spectre is a dick. I mean, he leaves bodies in his wake everywhere he goes, and that's just one of his personalities. The other personalities are actually nicer than he is. As a matter of fact, Marlene, his like love interest, had an affair with one of his personalities in one of the books. It was written by Max Bemis, so I don't know how much you're gonna put into that, but yeah, I like Moon Knight. Basically, we talked about this the other time, that people that compare Moon Knight with Batman really have never read Moon Knight, because he's a force of nature. He's a complete force of nature, and he's just randomness.
Well, he recently took down the Avengers on his own.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I mean, one at a time, but yeah, that's no mean feat when you're talking
Right.
She-Hulk, Thor. I mean, yeah. So
that is impressive.
Yeah, he's basically his craziness is his power. He's so crazy it's a superpower. I mean, there's no way they're going to do this right in that live action, because that's a superpower. His cray. That's his superpower.
How about Moon Knight versus Joker? Would that be awesome or what?
Oh man, I mean, who do you put the money on? Who's crazier? I mean, there was this one run, Brubaker, I think, did a run on Moon Knight where he would carve crescents into people's foreheads every time he had to take them in.
Was that Finch drawing it?
Yeah, Finch was drawing it. Yeah,
that series was mind blowing. That was.
Oh, it was. It was incredible. And he's got this friend named Frenchie who lost his legs defending him, and Frenchie's gay and is like deeply in love with him, but he just leaves bodies everywhere he goes. I mean, Punisher once told him, he's like, they had an encounter on the rooftop. It was a great scene where he's like, "Are you going to sit back here mumbling, or are we going to have this discussion?" And he's like, "You're mad." Punisher's like, he says, "I'm going to kill you one of these days because you killed my brother." And he's like, "You're just mad that I got to him first."
Nice.
I mean, it's a great line, and Punisher's just like walking by him when he said it's just a throwaway line. Oh, you're just mad because I got to him first. And then it's funny because Moon Knight just sits there, and he had Khonshu, who was actually Bushman guys, whose face he ripped off or cut off, and he was like, oh snap. It's invisible guys like, oh snap, But yeah, it's somebody's phone call. But anyway, so that's Moon Knight. Yeah, anybody have any favorite observation about Moon Knight that they want to share?
It's cool having a hero trying to, like, even if he's not, like, he's never really in the driver's seat. Another big difference between Batman and Moon Knight is that Batman is like the king of composed decision making. Like
Yeah.
he's always in the driver's seat, and Moon Knight's like sometimes in the driver's seat, sometimes the passenger, sometimes the back seat, and like sometimes the trunk, like Khonshu or whatever, the god just takes over. And it's kind of a cool way to tell a story about being heroic, because he's barely in control of himself,
Taskmaster one time told Moon Knight that I'm not going to copy you because you're so crazy you get hit too much. I mean, Taskmaster's like, I'm not going to copy you, man. You get hit too much, because he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. It's the difference between him and Batman. Batman has like the shadows, but Moon Knight, his uniform's white.
Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna see me coming.
Yeah,
I don't care. Line. You see me coming.
That was Warren Ellis, I think, right?
Yeah, Warren Ellis, right. So
I'm the guy who wants you to see me coming.
Yeah, exactly. And how batshit crazy is that? I'm putting a target on me. Here I am. I'm coming at you. It's intimidating though, because you're like, this guy's nuts. So let's see. The questions were crazy stuff, or the what the F moment. With him, it was cutting off Raoul Bushman's face with with his little crescent dart. That was pretty WTF. Hero moments. He's got a few. I don't know if he really meant them to be heroic, but he's got a few hero moments. The third question: is he a good guy that does bad things, or is he a bad guy or flawed guy that does good things? I think he's a flawed guy that does good things upon occasion. So that's where he falls. Any debate that he's an anti-hero? Anyone?
Nah, he's definitely anti-hero.
Okay, all right. Solid.
Yeah.
All right.
He might be close to the villain.
Well. Yeah,
no,
he walks that line.
Yeah.
He walks that line. He really does. So what's yours, Norm? Why don't you just throw a grenade in water here?
Well, where to begin? First, what did I miss?
Let's see. Dojo. What was yours, Dojo?
Juggernaut.
Okay. AP. He went with Gambit. Yeah.
Cyclops.
And Aaron. Huh? What's that?
Aaron went Cyclops.
Yeah, Aaron with Cyclops. The chat threw out Elektra, but we said she's too villainous. So we tossed her back in. Moon Knight versus Badger stat. Oh crap, that would be good.
Yeah.
With Mike Barron writing, that'd be awesome. Anyway,
too villainous. I mean, that conversation we had earlier, I mean, if you're going to have Elektra's too villainous, this is really going to be a problem for people.
Yeah. All right, Norm. All right, here we go.
Magneto.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Let the games begin.
As I was going through my little bag of tricks earlier, I found looked through a few of my books and whatnot, and went online and I did some searching. And amazingly enough, as much as I'm not a fan,
Right.
Comics Explained actually had on one of his Magneto videos.
Yeah.
No less a personage than Claremont himself said
Ah.
after he took over the whole run, he
Yeah.
intended Magneto to be an anti-hero.
Oh, okay.
Verbatim, which kind of surprised the hell out of me in a way.
Yeah.
In another way, it didn't. But you look throughout, the whole Claremont run of the X-Men, and it just bounces back and forth. At one point, he's the savior. On the other, later on, he's the sinner. He's, he got at one point he turned. What is it? Around the issue 200 or other, the famous purple outfit. Good God. With the big M on the front of it, and they've got him standing there on the cover, all manacled up, and he turns himself in, and then the United Nations frees him from all of his crimes and all of that crap. And then you go, and he does all his typical, I'm going to take over the world crap for a while.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then they hand him Genosha on a silver platter. He turns it into this paradise.
Yeah.
Everything's hunky-dory. Everything's fine. No problems from him in the world. He's done all of these great things for mutant kind. He hasn't bothered a human anywhere. And all of a sudden, all hell comes crashing down on him. And he reverts to the old mags. Not the mags that wrote 1,600 pages last year, but the mags that usually takes and rips Wolverine.
No, that's a real villain there. That's a real villain there. So there's no anti-hero in that one.
So I realize, Norm, that we just met, but I'm going to push back a little bit on that one, as you probably thought somebody might.
I am just stunned at the possibility.
So one of the things that the United Nations absolved him, or acquitted him of, was the sinking of an entire Russian submarine full of Russian soldiers. He killed them all.
Communists.
So, I mean, well, okay, they were communists, and whether or not you feel that, going back to Norm's comment, right.
You were saying.
But, just because you're a Russian doesn't mean you're a villain, and those guys may have been maybe even threatening him, but to kill the whole sub full of people, some of whom are, following orders, are just innocent soldiers, I think that right there is a true act of villainy.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. This guy's got more villainy. He's probably got the highest kill count in the whole Marvel universe. But on the same token, you turn around and, like, for example, the Russian submarine thing. How many people has Wolverine killed?
Oh, yeah. Far too many. There's another anti-hero or villain.
And you've got, his whole background is nothing but, I'm the, assassin basically for the Canadian Secret Service, blah, 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 Weapon X program. He's been, with Sabretooth and, that whole spiel there. He has killed hundreds or thousands, probably thousands over the years. Besides the actual, what you see him doing in the actual pages, the history that nobody ever sees is that he's killed an inordinate amount of people. Gambit too's got a few in his background. Then my other choice for this would have been Cable. Now Cable, if you want to go and throw in like the Adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix stuff when he was a couple thousand years into the future and fighting the whole war against Apocalypse's troops and all of that. You have, again, literally thousands of people that this guy has wiped out.
Right.
So, when you go across, the X-Men sphere entirely, I mean, any number of the X-Men have got a very large body count to their credit. But
now, if it's during war, however, I think that's a different scenario, because during a war, like you said, he was fighting against Apocalypse's troops. During war, I think people get a certain dispensation. for killing because it's two warring factions. Whereas somebody like Wolverine that you mentioned is out to assassinate, and that's not wartime.
Yeah.
Well, one thing about Magneto though, that kind of muddies the water, is the whole Holocaust thing.
Mm-hmm.
It really muddies the waters with him because.
Well, it gives him a motivation, that's for sure, because of what he witnessed and his own personal loss during that time. But to continue killing people because you witnessed somebody killing people, that's not.
At what point using? At what point does using the same methodology as the people that you are using as your motivation make you into that?
Right.
Well, I mean, one thing with Magneto, I remember that at one point they erased his memories or gave him a better childhood or something, and he became a good guy for a little while before they figured out. They figured out the manipulation. But he was like the leader of the X-Men during the Mutant Massacre, and he was a real good guy in that. But then at the same time, you're like, he was mentally altered. So,
and that came out in Fatal Attractions, because one of the the big speech monologue type moments that he has in there when he's going back and forth with Chuck, after he did the not so heroic act of dropping Avalon on top of Grey Malkin Lane, was the bit about, Mariah basically screwed with my head the whole time. I'm not the man you knew if I ever was. Right.
Well, there you go.
Mental manipulation, in my opinion, is kind of lazy writing.
Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. Yeah. So I think we're going to push back on that one, Norm. We're going to declare him too villainous to be anti-hero. So
I am just shocked. I would have never thought in a million years a sainted person.
If we're going to reject Elektra, we have to reject Magneto. Okay. Okay, we got to do that. So
it gives more weight. I think it gives more weight than just a murderer killing murderers. Like he's like in his head, he's like, there's one garden left in the entire universe. He's not just like, he's weeding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's not just killing. Like, I'm not trying to make it seem like he's a good guy.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think you can make a strong case for anti-hero from his perspective. Like, if there's only
one of the things, and remember in House of M, he got everything he ever wanted in House of M.
Yeah.
And he was still a dick.
Oh, there you go.
Well, you know what? I think some of the best villains are the ones who don't think that they're a villain.
No question. Yeah.
Like
who does? Who does though?
Dude.
I mean,
there are
everybody's the hero. Everybody's the hero.
No. Somebody like Joker will be like, "Oh no, I'm the bad guy."
The Joker just thinks everything's ridiculous and that he's the only sane person.
Right.
So.
Well, one of the things with Magneto is he's fully aware that he's not the good guy.
Yeah.
He knows he's an asshole.
But he thinks he's a necessary evil.
evil.
Yeah,
like a shooter.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So what was that? What was that, Aaron? You about to say something, brother?
No, I just commented on Dojo Kun stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, we're gonna have to reject that one, Magneto. We're gonna reject that one.
So Telepathic Bunny, we're coming up on an hour here. Do you try to keep these under an hour, or do we have time for my second one?
Yeah, let's go through a second round. Is everybody okay? Does everybody have time?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go.
All right, so I'll bring up my second one. And this one, however, is going to make it sound like I'm a hypocrite because I just turned down Magneto. Can you share my screen?
Oh, here we go.
Galactus.
No. Are you sure?
I don't have your screen at the moment, brother.
Oh, you don't? Oh, shoot. What's going on?
Yeah.
Now I'm boomerang? What the hell?
You're supposed to know what you're doing here, man.
Right on.
There we go.
Now let's try it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Sandman, and it's
Sandman.
It's short-lived, but here's what happened. Obviously, he was a bad guy for a very long time, 40 years probably.
Yeah.
But there was a time where he and Hydro Man were merged, and Spider-Man fought this like mud thing.
Right.
When they finally got separated, Hydro Man took off, and Sandman was sort of left there like they were both pretty disturbed by the whole thing. Sandman goes to a bar. The Thing gets called to the bar. He's ready to fight, and Sandman just goes, "Yeah, I give up." This was one of I think, the best characterization stories I've ever read in Marvel 2-in-1 '86 with Thing and Sandman. They just sit down and have a beer. And Sandman recounts his history and says, I'm done with all this crap. I think that it's time for me to reform. Thing says, so where are you going next? And Sandman goes, well, probably jail, right? And Thing lets him go. Like, no, you're on your own. But if you turn back, I'm taking you in. And Sandman goes, I get it. So after that, Sandman basically tries the hero route, and he does okay for a little while. He joins Spider-Man and the Outlaws. Let me go to my next screen here, and that's down here on the left. He joins Spider-Man and the Outlaws. He teams up with Spider-Man. He joins the Avengers. Here he is in the bottom right on the classic Perez cover, Avengers #1 and Volume 3. He's actually a member of the Avengers for a time. Back one screen, if I can. He leads the Avengers against a huge jewelry heist ring. And here he is yelling, "Avengers Assemble!" So it's one of those the hero or the villain redeemed stories. Yeah. But yeah, he reverts. He goes back to, okay, this is crap too. I'm just out for myself. So I don't know what kind of kill count he has. I'm not sure it's very high. I think that with him, he's just kind of a bumbling bad guy whose powers I've loved all, throughout my whole collecting comic books history, which is like 47 years now. So I just loved how he's depicted and the things he can do. But yeah, for a while he was kind of an anti-hero, so I'm throwing that out there.
Okay. Well, I mean, is it that he was an anti-hero, or is it that he just tried something new for a while,
He did try to be a hero. He did try to do the right thing. Right. And I think that what happens, and in many cases you'll find this as a story trope, so I don't know if it's an overused one or not. I tend to think it's used often enough that you might consider it, but I don't think it's overused. And that is, it's the villain who tries to redeem, maybe tries to lead the mob, and everything they try just comes right back in their face, and they revert to type.
Right. Well, I mean, being a good guy is not exactly an easy thing anyway. So,
well, one of the things that Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, said to Daredevil in one of the issues was, all these years you play the hero and all that, you have to realize I only have to win once.
Right. Well, let me do mine right quick.
Okay.
Let me just go ahead and play this.
Oh,
that's such a good line.
Yeah. I'm not sharing audio. Hold on. See, I'm a boomer. Look at that shit. All right, let me share audio. Where's the audio button? Remember?
Bottom left.
Bottom left. Okay.
But it has to be when you share your screen, you have to give it the bottom left it's a little tiny box. I wish they would just default to sharing audio.
I know, exactly.
And then you should be able to select to turn it off if you wanted. But how many times do you really want to shut it off? That's silly.
I know, exactly. That's one of those StreamYard things. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me do this again and get it right this time. So where's Shaq Prison? Share audio. There's the box. All right, here we go.
Hey, no, Shaq.
Still not working?
Yeah, I can hear it.
It's
Okay.
working.
You know what? I'm pretty famous too. Isn't that right? That's right. Now maybe I can give you an autograph, huh? Thank you.
say you're a hero when you're defending yourself.
Understand. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
That's
What a
when
god.
you become anti-hero. Yeah. Yeah, Rorschach. That's my my selection. So it's like that. One thing about Rorschach is he was supposed to be this character that I think Alan Moore was making fun of Steve Ditko, and Steve Ditko had this philosophy. These characters had this philosophy of what's it called, Norm? Well, it's this philosophy that says that that there's black, there's white, and there's no shifting between. There's no gray areas. Absolutism, I think it's called.
Yeah.
But Rorschach was supposed to be Alan Moore's, kind of dumping on Ditko, but he became iconic because people like people that don't compromise. There's no compromise in Rorschach. His
Well,
face is that black and white. It's
Rorschach did nothing wrong.
nah. So you say Rorschach's too much of a hero to be an anti-hero?
Yeah, basically. I mean, he would be right about the same category of Punisher.
Okay. Well,
I mean, yeah, he is an anti-hero.
well, Punisher's definitely an anti-hero. I'm going to have to debate
there's
you
no
on that
question
one.
there. You think I butchered, but Rorschach killed the guy who fucking kidnapped those kids and put them in the oven.
Right.
Like he
Right.
killed that guy for sure, and then he tried being a good guy with what's his name, the Night Owl.
Night Owl, yeah. Night Owl, the second
Yeah,
Night Owl.
that's right. Yeah, and they did like their nighttime duo gang raiding type thing, and he kind of like this isn't really cutting it. But he never really he didn't get much of a kill count. He didn't.
Okay.
Not like Punisher, and it was always to find. This is the thing I loved about him both is the no compromise on truth. So
Right.
he
Not even in the face of Armageddon.
he calls out Dr. Manhattan in the face of Armageddon. He's like, it doesn't matter. Like, fuck you, do what you have to. Like, that's commitment, dude.
Right.
Like that Punisher isn't that committed,
Okay. All right. I'll pull Rorschach off the table. If we can't allow Elektra or Magneto, I have to. Okay. Rorschach's too heroic. Okay.
Well, if
I'll
you think
concede.
about it, I mean, if you put it in Dungeons and Dragons terms, the guy is basically a paladin.
He might be chaotic good.
Yeah. He could be like a chaotic good paladin.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
He'd definitely be chaotic good. Okay. All right. I'll concede that point. Anybody else got another one?
For no reason to do with Critical Blast, I'm going to suddenly go with the Hulk, actually.
The Hulk.
Hulk, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that guy's the most classic. He wants to be left alone. He gets too pissed off, just can't control himself, smashes shit up. It's the beautiful, Freudian Jungian stuff that the gamma stuff pulls out of you, the weakness you couldn't face. There's some kind of thing. So leader becomes a prideful genius asshole, from a janitor position to but Bruce could never face what his dad was, who is this woman abusing, rageaholic alcoholic. And so when he faces the gamma radiation, the seeds become the monster. It's such a beautiful story. And he does all these decent things. Mostly he just wants to be left the fuck alone throughout most of the story.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Frankenstein story,
Yeah, it's like Frankenstein, Dr. Mr. Hyde, who
but a much scarier individual.
On a planet if he needs to. That's where the anti stuff comes in, I think. When he gets too far, he'll just tear your arms off if he has to,
How many people it cheered that moment in Avengers where it's like, we have an army, we have a Hulk.
I'll take the Hulk for sure.
Yeah, and Captain America going, hey Hulk, smash. And Hulk's like, I could do that. And even a moment with Loki,
Oh, it's such a beautiful thing.
Oh, that's just wonderful. I mean, even the little thing with Thor where he's standing side by side and he just goes punch. But yeah, he's just a living id, But I can see that point. Yeah, Hulk is definitely anti-hero. All right, we'll give it to you. Critical blast.
Okay.
RJ, you got one, man. Anybody got another one?
Actually, yeah. Now that you mention it,
All right.
Speaking of Loki, lately he has been an anti-hero.
I'm
not sure why, but
No way. Sorry, Aaron.
Disallowed.
Have you been reading the new ones? Because in the new ones,
No.
No, I don't read Marvel or DC anymore. But I have to say that if he's doing anything heroic, there's some kind of deceit or selfish motivation. He's the god of deceit.
you know how it is with them liking to redeem certain characters,
right?
So,
well, he'll revert to type pretty soon, I imagine.
Maybe in 30 years when they all get run out of the office.
Oh yeah, well, I hope it's a lot sooner than 30 years, but maybe not. Maybe it'll give me time to get my company to replace them all.
Oh yeah, hopefully, man.
Well, I think that's what we're all after. You know,
that's right.
Trying to replace what was lost.
Give them a much better alternative than all the SJW crap that we're getting forced down our throats.
I actually have a bad guy that you will like, Dojo, if you like Sandman.
I do.
My guy, Brickhouse Brown, is the big bad of my first comic.
You've got someone named Brickhouse?
Brickhouse Brown.
I see.
But
Brickhouse debuted in Siamese #1.
Yeah, I asked you about that. I mentioned it to you, right?
Right.
I said, I got this guy, Brickhouse Brown. You asked me what his powers were, and he's like the Sandman, except he's a rock. He does it with rock, you know.
All right.
He's a geomancer.
Okay.
But he doesn't let's control rock. He is rock. So it's the hint Sandman thing.
You're right.
You
yeah,
know?
I do want to see that character.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure when I start sending those scripts to my artists, they're probably gonna be, what?
Yeah. You want me to draw what? Come on.
Come on, man. Well, you signed on for it.
You're killing me, Gibbs.
I was going to bring up maybe somebody like the Red Hood. That's a possibility.
Okay. Yeah,
what's that?
I agree.
Yeah, especially the way they've used him lately. But, you know, Jason Todd, he's got the training of Robin. But you know, he's got that willingness to do whatever it takes. That he thinks Batman's soft.
Well, when you get beat to death by the crowbar, it kind of changes your mood.
It kind of does, yeah. I imagine it does.
Almost twice.
Yeah, almost twice. Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know what they're doing with him in this latest Titans series. I've been told that it's an abomination, so I'm not going to watch it. But yeah, Jason Todd definitely the Red Hood. I would say he's definitely anti-hero material there. That's one off the top of my head. Anybody else got one?
I'll throw in Namor. I just love Namor.
Namor, the submariner, the submariner, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah.
I'll go with Mariner.
Mariner, okay, submariner. Yeah, he's definitely anti-hero material.
He does both of truly heroic stuff and then floods Wakanda, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. He's probably more heroic than Black Panther is, to be honest.
More heroic.
More heroic?
Well, I mean, he seems to have less. What's the word I'm looking for here? Well, he's less Jingo. You know, he's less the if his like Atlantis aligns with the Earth. You know, he's more likely to jump in. And Black Panther's more likely to say, "Okay, well, we're protected, so you know, good luck with it."
Yeah.
So I think he's a little. I would say he's a little more heroic than Black Panther. Yeah, I mean, but for what it's worth.
So then, by what you're saying here, it sounds like you're likening Black Panther to Negan, where he's just out to protect his people.
Yeah, I would say so, but you know, he's not beating people to death with a baseball bat. But
he's certainly got more composure and intellect. Like you wouldn't go that route.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's protectionism, right?
Well,
kind of that.
And like AP is saying, they portray Black Panther to be a genius, and he's noble because he is, after all, royalty.
Right.
But at the same time, he'll stop at nothing to protect his nation.
Right. But just his nation.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thing.
Right.
The whole world can, just
when I said
burn.
When I said his people, I didn't mean race. I meant his nation, his country.
Right, his nation, Wakanda. Right.
Wakanda.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I said, right.
Like, so I just had to back. Yeah, he'll step in with the whatever thing, Fantastic Four, Avengers, or something. If Atlantis, they don't even have to be full. Like if the oceans could be at risk, it's not specifically just his people. Yeah. That's a really cool point. It's like state altruism through a character.
Right. Well, I mean, I think the with he takes a more world view than Black Panther does. Black Panther is definitely just his people, just his community. That he's protecting them.
What? I think I got to go against my own earlier comments and defend something Norm said. And that is, I think now we are looping back to, isn't that what Magneto's trying to do? Is protect his, I'll call it nation with air quotes. He's trying to protect the mutants of the world.
Mutant kind, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he's trying to do it from a position of, okay, I'm going to be their savior, but I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect other mutants. So he could be a lot like Black Panther, a lot like Namor.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if we accept Magneto, can we also accept Dr. Doom?
Dr. Doom.
No. Yeah, but Dr. Doom is out to. He doesn't care if you're threatening Latveria. He'll just come kick your ass because.
Well, I think the level of megalomania when it comes to Dr. Doom might put him out of the running. So.
Yeah.
He's doing it to save his mom. There's that in his favor, and then
that's true.
When Hickman, this is one of my favorite modern stories, is Hickman's Avengers run ending with Secret Wars. And Dr. Doom was the guy that pulled the whole thing. Doctor Strange had the chance to wield the thing that saves the world, and he's like, I can't do this. And he had to give it to Dr. Doom, and he's like, I got it,
Yeah.
Right. Right.
He has helped save the world on a few occasions.
Yeah, he does use the power to.
Well, he saved the world because he's planning on conquering it.
Yeah. So but then he gets everything he wants and gives it up. Sort of. He's like,
if the world is destroyed, I got no kingdom. So
exactly. So I mean, is that altruism or is that still selfishness disguised as something else?
No, it's like a CEO who wants to run the planet as his planet, like Lex.
He's a Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor's the same way.
Now, if you guys have had the chance to read the graphic novel in which Dr. Doom and Dr. Strange team up, was it called Torment? I think that this goes back to what you're talking about, AP, where Doom's goal is to save his mother, and Strange actually helps him toward that goal. I don't want to spoil it if you guys haven't read it, but you should, if you get a chance. I think it's only in hardcover, so it's pretty pricey nowadays. But if you get a chance to read it, it's definitely worth a read.
Cool.
Well, another one another anti-hero that I thought we might discuss is Ghost Rider.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Now Aaron's just trying to be contrarian.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling Ghost Rider. Nah.
Well, after Nicolas Cage butchered it, then I'd have to say no.
I like the Nicolas Cage movies.
What?
I know they're trash, but I like them.
Oh my gosh, he was such an overactor in that second one. Oh, it was so silly.
It's Nick Cage, though, Dojo.
I usually like Nick Cage, but he just butchered that one. And you know what? I'll even go so far as to say someone as revered as Samuel L. Jackson couldn't save the movie called The Spirit.
Right.
I couldn't even sit through The Spirit. I had to shut it off. It was that bad.
Frank Miller, that was Frank Miller's baby.
Oh, it was so bad.
And it was horrible. Yeah, it was really bad.
I'm gonna shut up.
Well, the Shadow, that's a good anti-hero right there, wouldn't you say?
Anti-hero? Does he have moments of villainy?
Well, I mean, he scares the crap out of people, friend and foe alike.
You guys are gonna have to give me a rundown because I have I vaguely know who the Shadow is.
Okay, well, it's a pop. It's obviously there's disagreement, so just look him up. He's a good read.
Yeah.
There's actually a half decent movie with, was it Alec Baldwin?
Alec Baldwin, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
it
good
wasn't
movie.
too bad. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
I'll
good.
give you that.
Yeah, it really, I think it captured kind of what the Shadow's about. I watch anything with Tim Curry in routinely anyway.
Oh, he's got the best bad smile in the world.
Oh yes.
So evil.
There's this moment where he's like, there's this moment in the Shadow where he's like, he's kind of like, the Shadow's here. Could you ask him if he's a little upset because I tried to kill him last time? It's like, yeah, he's upset with you, man.
I saw a fantastic meme that says you can judge your friends based on where they know Tim Curry from.
Right.
And they show him as Dr. Frankenfurter. They show him as the evil bishop from Three Musketeers.
Right.
They show him in all these different roles. And it's like, yeah, if they can identify him from one of those movies, then you know where that friend is coming from.
Well, if they know him from the littlest witch, yeah, okay. That's a move. Never mind. Anyway,
Yeah, sorry, that
if
was
they're
lost on
grown
me.
men and they know him from that, then you have problems. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe it's good that I don't.
There you go. Yeah, it's one of the odder roles. Clue's my favorite role he's done though.
Okay.
Definitely. Anyway, so that's I think we've pretty much exhausted the topic. If anybody else has got another one.
This was fun.
Yeah, it was.
I liked it. We had a good time. I think we really covered a lot of ground. Had a little bit of a chat today, so that was cool.
I like the debates and the going back and forth and trying to decide who's right and all that. It was good.
That was fun.
Definitely.
Well, that's why I invited Norm, because I knew Norm would throw a wrench into it.
He's a mixer, huh?
Yeah. Did we come back around on Magneto? Are we saying he's anti-hero now?
I think so.
I'm gonna have to agree with Norm.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, dude, he won.
I'm just gonna sit over here quietly.
He's like quietly, booyah.
Oh, trust me, he's gonna crow about it. Trust me.
No, not at all.
There's some characters that are more anti-hero and less. Like Magneto's villain an awful lot, but you could definitely redeem him. Like the characters.
Well, Fassbender really makes it hard to see Magneto as entirely villainous, to be honest. Fassbender's
another great actor. Wow, is he good?
Yeah.
The nuance that he just did. I mean, I'm like, who could possibly fill Ian McKellen's boots with that one? But I think he and Ian McKellen was. I mean, if you're going to have one character done by two different people, I mean, can you get better than that? Honestly,
no.
Yeah, man. Yeah, right from the get-go too. The first scene I saw Fassbender do Magneto, and I was so skeptical too. Like, no one could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the bar scene.
Yeah.
The bar scene is pretty good.
Well, I'm just kind of stunned that after. Apparently, I missed it when I came in, but the whole Elektra thing. But ever since then, I mean, it's just been nothing but a sausage party. And you misogynistic people have completely eliminated.
Well, I have given the floor to anybody come up with one. So please, by all means, give us a female anti-hero.
White Queen.
White Queen. Okay.
Black Cat. Catwoman.
Oh, yeah.
Catwoman works for sure.
Rogue.
Okay. I'll give you.
Norm's saying Rogue.
I wouldn't give you Felicia Harding.
But I think she'd be like more of a hero.
Yeah.
Well, she started out as a villain, like serious.
Yeah, but then you'd have to do the same thing for Hawkeye too, because he also started.
Oh
as a villain.
yeah. Yep.
All right, we could definitely do Captain Marvel, but not on purpose. Like runs up and shit because she's pouty, I
mean, she killed Iron Man, so
that's all villain there. I don't think there's any hero left in her.
That right there is where Rogue ends it. she gets tossed completely in the category of villain because she had the chance.
Yeah, there you go. Here it
To
is.
end her. She
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
And now we're stuck with this goddamn movie.
To be honest, now that means Rogue is a full hero because she almost killed Captain Marvel. She's
Right.
doing the world a service.
She's irredeemable now. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the same time, Thanos. I mean, there's people that think Thanos is an anti-hero
And
because they're like Thanos was right. You know, the
honestly
climate
don't know.
the climate people think Thanos is right. You know.
Yeah, that's because there's no
I,
stupidest position. You know, if you can control the entire universe, you could double resources, you could half the half-life, so they last twice as long. You could do all the things.
Yes.
Right.
They always choose the death. Right?
Yeah. Well, they always have it in their heads as finite resources.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Thanos the whole entire idea bunk, that there's limited resources in the universe. I mean, there's not limited resources.
We've got NASA, and I don't know if it's true or not. I think it's rumored, but there's an asteroid coming within striking distance of Earth that they estimate has like $10 trillion worth of precious metals on it. And we're going to try to go mine it or get some or something.
All of this boom of the private industry trying to get into space at this time is no coincidence. That's not a rumor. That's going to happen, and it looks like Elon Musk is going to be taking the charge, and not a government, and not NASA. But like,
what kind of world are we living in where Armageddon is now a thing?
Yeah, right.
What in the world? It's like the most
meteor?
crazy, outlandish movie, and now you're saying that might actually happen? There's going to be miners on the freaking asteroid? What?
It's really marketable. Yeah.
Okay, on that note, before too many world-ending things happen, let me just go ahead.
The Lemons are taking over.
Yeah, the monkeys have definitely taken over the zoo at this point. So. Okay.
Well, thanks very much for having us on, Telepathic Bunny. This has been fun, and look forward to doing it again.
Yeah.
All right. So Dojo Kun does have a website for his comic book company. It's got a lot of different things on there, so look him up. I think there's a link in his Twitter that you can find it.
Yes, sir.
AP has not currently got any projects.
No, I'm still working too much. I'm trying to do it on my free time. I'm going to be like a year away before my comic book starts.
But you are an artist, though, right?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah,
so you're available for work, right? Okay. So, Norm, I believe, is just hanging out with no pants in Las Vegas, so I don't think it...
No, you don't have to show us.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's a way of life.
Okay,
life.
The monkeys have definitely taken over now. All right, so Aaron Jordan has a comic and Kickstarter right now, Wolf's Bane. It is it revealed yet?
Oh, what? Actually, 80%.
80%. It's at 80%. It's a really awesome comic. It's got great art. He's got real good merch packages and everything.
Aaron, once you're done with Kickstarter, do you plan to take it to IGG?
I already took it to IGG, and I did pretty okay.
Okay.
So, if you wanted to get it after the Kickstarter, I am having a website for it. So
okay.
All right. So reach out, get in touch. I won't back on Kickstarter, but I will back friends. So let me know about it.
All right. So that's my project is still trying to get off the ground. Got a great poster the other day, and maybe I'll start showing that around soon. It's at my graphic artist. So community service is on the way. So maybe I'll have a sign up list before the end of the year. Hopefully, we'll see.
Any of you guys who have new projects coming up, if you want to come on and show your books, make sure you get in touch with me, and I'll have you on my co-host show.
Yeah, it's K Manifesto.
Well, we've actually got two shows, Telepathic Bunny. One is the K Manifesto show with Dojo Kun Comics, and on that one we have informative topics. We have panels on to help the network of indie creators. And then with the co-host show, I have guest co-hosts that come on, and then we have creators that come on and show their books. So I have the guest co-host helps me interview the creator who has a live campaign.
Okay.
And that's on Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock.
Right. Well, Critical Blast is in the he's in the chat. He has a great show.
Yep.
So check him out, and does Pops Comic Talk with Pops Van Zant's a good one. He's a little bit more random and a little bit more chaotic, but
Well,
that's
another thing that
like your
Pops Van
speed.
Zant does is the Comic Con.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, dude, Comic Con is so fun.
Yeah. Virtual Comic Con, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really well attended the last time.
And,
so.
and he brings on a lot of people with that too. So, hail to comics with Pops Van Zant.
All right. Well, I think NTM was in there earlier. NTM, he had a comic in IGG. I think he's already fulfilled it though.
Yes.
Anyway, that's everybody. We'll just we'll stop here. So you all have a nice day. Thank you for coming on.
Hail the panel and hail the chat.
Having me.
All right. Bye.
Hail.
Bye, guys.
See ya.